Think and Grow Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? The first session we had was like an introduction about mind power. The first chapter, which was about desire, right? We had someone that reviewed that chapter of the book for us. The second chapter, which was last week, was on faith, and today we'll be reviewing the third chapter of let me say the third chapter, but more like the third chapter of the book, which basically is on auto suggestion, and we have someone that will be helping us to review the book today. Her name is Ada Eze. Um, so she'll be reviewing the book in the next 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes thereabout. So yeah, she'll be reviewing the book and reading this chapter of the book. After which we would take contribution from everyone in the group. So Ada, please go ahead and share your screen, and you have the floor now.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry, I tried to join on my laptop, but it didn't yank me off, so I'm using my phone now. Let me see if I can share. May only be
Don't
able
worry,
to
I think
share.
we'll share. I think we'll share your slides, right? That's what you're referring to.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. Thanks to the organizers. Thanks to the Kazing Club. We're gathered here today to review what we have all read during the week on Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Yeah, so my slide will be showing on the screen or is showing on the screen. I believe everyone can see it. Um, so I'll just dive in. Basically, while I was studying this chapter in particular, it started with the definition of auto-suggestion, which is basically a term that applies to um, suggestions by way of your thinking or by things that you intentionally say to yourself. All suggestions or self-administered stimuli, which reaches your mind through any of your five senses. It can come in from your thoughts, from your eyes, what you hear, what you've seen, what you've said, what you heard yourself say, and all those ways. So it can also refer to it as a bridge between your conscious mind, what you're thinking of, what you are aware that you're thinking of, and then your subconscious. Your subconscious is just basically referring to your reflexes. So how you would behave without thinking. That's how I'll term your subconscious. So whatever we constantly, ruminate on that goes through our mind, whatever is on the front burner, somehow would eventually affect, our reflexes, our subconscious when we're not thinking, how our body responds to situations or to circumstances. Uh, I'll go to the next slide, next page. Basically, the highlights, from this chapter for me, like I said, whatever is dominating our thoughts and whatever we permit to, keep dominating our thoughts would eventually affect our subconscious through the law of autosuggestion. So I said I'll use an example. I tried to look for a story to tell. I didn't really find anyone that I like so much, but I'll use this one. Imagine that when we're growing up, this is for the millennials. While we're growing up, um, for us, I think our dad used to like keep our pocket money, like the money for that day on the table, or they just used to be money there anyway. So when you're going out, to school every morning, you just go, you pick your coin. We use coins then. Just pick your coin and you move. So your own, you don't even care whether daddy drops money or not. You just know that once you wake up, you dress up, you go and pick your pocket money for that day, and then you move because you are used to it. So it just happens. Even when there's no money there, you just find yourself going to that place, to pick up your money and then to move. So then the next thing for me is that the all sense impressions which are perceived, like I said, your eyes, what you see, from movies, from environments, from your environment, your surrounding. Lagos has highbrow, lowbrow. People are born in Ajegunle, people are born in Ikeja, people are born in VI. The surrounding, all those things that you see when you've seen people live, these things affect your subconscious. What you hear affects your subconscious. So whatever you perceive and you allow, to dominate your thinking will somehow affect your subconscious. The study also makes us to understand that we have absolute control over what reaches our subconscious, meaning I can watch a horror movie this night and not have a bad dream because I don't allow what I have watched on TV, affect my thinking. But I know that it's difficult for some people. Some people would cannot watch horror movie, and I'm part of those people. I can't bear to sit and watch a horror movie because if the light is off and then you're moving somewhere and just hear any sound from nowhere, you're already looking for running for shelter because of what you had seen in like maybe the last 2 days or 3 hours. But then you have the ability to control, the material that reaches your subconscious. Okay, but not everyone exercises this control. Um, yeah, and then like I said in the introduction, the auto suggestion is a bridge. So why I put that word bridge is like let's use bridge, but now what comes to my mind is like we use a toll gate. So let's assume that you have a toll gate between your conscious mindset and your subconscious. Now you are manning the toll. Whatever you see or hear or perceive from your environment or you taste or through all your senses, you are manning the tool. You can as well decide or determine whether you want to let that vehicle of thoughts go through, to your subconscious or not. If you do, then your subconscious would affect, your reaction, like I said, and your reflexes. So you have to now filter which vehicle of thoughts you allow into your subconscious. The next page. Thank you. Please advance the slide. Yeah. Uh, So the subconscious mind is a fertile garden, meaning that whatever you let through, to your subconscious will affect your reaction. So I think I thought about this in three ways. Number one, there's a set of people that man that tool and constantly sieve out, what is coming through, what is coming out. That's one set. The other set, I think they have abandoned the post. Anything goes, good, bad, ugly, can go in. And then there's some people that, they know the bad should not come in, but then they don't intentionally send some good things there. So based on what I've read, it is not good to not just prevent, bad thoughts from getting to your subconscious. You should also be deliberate about making sure that, the good things that would affect your life positively, is made to come into your subconscious so that you can start working in that.
Sorry, Ada, we can't hear you again. I don't know if it's just me.
I cannot
If
hear
it's
as
just
well.
wow. Apologies, everyone. I think she's out. I don't know if she was maybe she has network issues. I'm hoping she'll join us shortly.
Apologies, I got yanked off again. Yes, so at some point in the text, the writer referred us back to chapter 1 on desire, where they enumerated 6 steps on how to on how to I don't know, where 6 steps were enumerated basically on how to think and grow rich. So it referred us back to that, and it also took us forward to chapter 6, but I didn't bother to go to chapter 6 because we're not there yet. So, but I went back to chapter 1, because what we are looking at on auto suggestion is a build up of what has come from your desire and what we have learned on faith from chapter 2. So these are the 6 steps. Just a reminder. I know that we already looked through all of this. Fix your mind on what you want to achieve. This does not only relate to the money you want to make in life. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire, or um, how you need to train yourself to achieve a certain position at work. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess your money, or attain that success. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire. Write down the responses of 1 to 4 into a concise statement that you can keep affirming yourself every morning and night, so that you eventually believe what you want to see in your life. So from auto suggestion is also emphasizing the fact that we're not just meant to be repeating this thing. If we don't believe, if we don't attach emotion, if we're not serious about our targets, if we're not serious about how we want to make this money, we're not serious about how we want to get that car this year, next year. If we're not serious about it, if we don't believe that we can do it, we're always thinking outward on how the economy looks, the president in power, the boss in the office that is the toxic boss. At some point we just have to forget about all the external influences, and then focus on our own words, how we want to achieve, and then make sure we believe ourselves. Yeah, so there's one part that I'm not really sure. I'm still ruminating on, where it says that this method of autosuggestion, it works for everyone. If you apply it and it doesn't work for you, the book says this method did not fail, but you just need to try again and you keep trying. So that's just what strikes out for me in the whole text that we've read. That you just have to keep trying. This method works. Just keep putting your mind to it. Keep affirming yourself. Eventually, your subconscious will believe you. In fact, I think at one point he said, um, I don't know, he said like trick your mind. Trick your mind. In the beginning, you may not really believe it, but just trick your mind to believe that you believe, and then you just see it happening. Just keep trying. You can advance to the next slide. So, the laws of auto suggestion, according to this text that we read, we're starting out from where we stopped on from chapter 1 on desire. So whatever you've written, the laws of autosuggestion is saying that you should find a quiet spot where you don't have interruption. It's recommended maybe your bed at night, but it can be anywhere where you will not be interrupted. A quiet place, then you close your eyes and then you repeat aloud to your own hearing. So as you're repeating that your statements where you ended on step 6 from desire, you repeat those your statements to your hearing. Hearing is believing. You repeat it to your hearing, and then you do this night and morning, and then it also says, if not if possible, it also says you should like maybe print it out or write it out and hang it up maybe on your wall or somewhere that you can always sit and keep memorizing and keep reading out aloud to yourself until you have memorized it, internalized it, and you can keep saying it without looking at what you've written down. So the last I think that's the last slide or thereabouts. It's just saying you should act. So you cannot just think, number one, I want to make 5 million bucks before the year ends, and then you skip number two, which says what are you willing to give to get that 5 million. This place basically says you need to act on all the instructions. So you need to say, I want to make 5 million exactly. I'm willing to start selling rice, because it's Christmas, everybody's buying rice. I'm willing to sell rice and make that 5 million, even before the new year. Um, so I'm putting a date to like before the new year. This is when I'll make that 5 million. And then I write it down, and then night and morning I'm reading it, and then I start selling the rice actually. So basically saying you need to put all the steps. You cannot do one and not do the other. And then when you're reading out to yourself, you also need to add faith and belief, which is also another step. You need to do all of that. And so the last thing on this page says we become the master of ourselves and our environment and even our own journey because we have the power to influence our subconscious mind. Now, where I work, at a point, they used to just say, own your journey. Initially, I used to think that it was just like management trick to basically not try and promote you. When they start saying your career is in your hand, own your journey, this is just being like, oh, but I'm doing my job, after a certain period, I'm appraised, I should go to the next step or whatever. But reading this particular text made me to understand that truly we really need to own our journey. We're responsible for how our life turns out, regardless of it being monetary or your family life or your beliefs, your faith or whatever. You're responsible for your journey. And by controlling, because we all have the power to control our subconscious, we can influence our subconscious mind and then we can see positive results in our life. Uh, yeah. So I think okay, there's also a summary page. So I think I'll just read this one directly. The subconscious mind is to take any order that you give to it in absolute faith, meaning when you speak and you speak out loud and you hear what you're saying and you believe you add some emotions to what you're saying, your subconscious mind would actually start living it out. Then your ability to use the law of auto-suggestion will depend on your capacity to concentrate. So yes, it's not today I want to sell rice and make that 5 million, and tomorrow I just want to sell buckets or water or fuel or whatever. You have to concentrate on what you have written and follow it diligently until it becomes an obsession and then you achieve it. Number three, you have to use your imagination to create practical plans for the achievement of your desire. So you're not just saying it, you're also doing something, to achieve your desire. Then do not wait for a definite plan. Do not wait until you have the money to start the business, the full capital. It just says, wait for the inspiration and wherever you are and get that inspiration, just start as you are, just start like that. And we will all grow rich. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope I didn't take too much time. Thank you, Foma.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ada. Ada is the Oputa. Oputu. Is it Oputa? I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I got that
Yeah,
correctly.
it's correct. It's correct. Oputa.
Oputa. Thank you so much. I mean, like you said, we are actually in charge of how our life basically turns out basically. So if the only way to achieve something, you write it down, tell yourself that I mean, like how they say that we should write what our I know that, I mean, which I still do, like everyone say, what are your goals for the following year, for the next year? What do you plan to achieve? Writing it down and sort of helps you, and placing it somewhere that is, I mean, that a place that you see it and tell yourself that, and basically appraise yourself on how far you have gone and where you are basically in achieving those goals that you have set for yourself. Makes you consciously, unconsciously just reminds you of what you need to do to ensure that you achieve that. Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone wants to add to all that Adaise has said. So we can signify by raising up your hand so that, I mean, the floor is open, I mean, to anyone that wants to. Just signify by raising your hand so that we can give the mic over to you to speak. Yeah, so if you have anything to say, just signify by raising up your hand so that we can actually we can give you the floor, basically. So while we wait for people to talk, I think, like you mentioned, I mean, your subconscious mind is the conduct for causing the things that you think about to be created. So, it's so important that in saying that we want to achieve something, we want to do something, writing it down helps us and reminds us that of what we need to do to ensure that basically we work towards, achieving that those goals that we set for ourselves, basically. Visualize yourself in ownership of what you want. If it is money you want, if it's like you told yourself by a particular year you should have X amount of money, you then now need to make conscious effort, make steps basically on what you need to do to achieve that. Maybe you plan that by a particular year you should be, if you're a career person, you should be at a particular level in your career. Or if it's that you have some maybe exams, certification exams and stuff like that that you plan to write, you tell yourself that, okay, this is what I want to do. What do I need to, do to get there? It's not just about saying, it's about putting it down. It's sort of help us to basically achieve that which we set to achieve, basically. I think I'll pause now. Let me just quickly check if there are any hands up or anyone has dropped anything in the comment section. Let me just check. Okay. Okay, while we wait for more people to for anyone that would like to add to what has been said, just to mention that let's not forget to follow our social media handles. So on Instagram, just remind us, on YouTube, Facebook, and X, yeah, just remind us, and on LinkedIn as well. So we like that everyone joins us as we on these groups. Also to mention, that okay, maybe I should save that for later. I think no one seems to say anything. No one wants to add to everything that has been said. I think maybe I should still say one thing. They say no thoughts can enter your subconscious without the principle of auto-suggestion. So hold your thoughts on what you desire. Maybe say, if you hold your thoughts on what you desire. What are the things that, we set out for ourselves, for our families, that we want to achieve by a particular period? What do we need to ensure that we actually achieve those things? I'll say it again, writing it down, it's so, so important. I know for me, I can be, maybe because I don't have a good handwriting, writing it down can be very, but you can also type it. That also helps as well. So, and paste it somewhere. I try to write down every year. I write up of things that I plan to achieve, right? Even though at the end of the day, I don't achieve all that I set out to achieve, but somehow it could be a 50-50, 60-40, thereabout. So, writing it down just helps. And then I see that, oh, okay, I plan to do this, I did not do this. What do I need to do to, what steps do I need to take to ensure that I achieve it in the coming year? Or what do I need to do to achieve it before the year runs out and all of that? It just helps. It just helps every one of us and all of that. Yeah. Okay, just to also mention, I think we have about 3 minutes left, just to mention the Kaizen reading group will be going on a short break. Yeah, being that not a short break, basically, just the holiday period. So won't have any session next weekend and upper weekend. So hopefully we should resume back fully by first week of January. I think that's the 7th. If I'm not sorry, that should be the 11th, the week of the 11th. So thereabouts. So just to mention. So I would say this is an opportunity for all of us to, that have not been following so much, right? To read, go to have these 2 weeks to, read all we have done so far, and even still how will I put it, read what I've done so far and even go past the chapters we've gone so that and also just to mention yeah, go past the chapters we've and if you and also if you would like to review this book for any chapter of this group, please feel free to reach out to any of the admins. Ada, I can see your hand is up. Looks like you still want to say something. Let me just quickly read what someone dropped in the chat. The achievement of one's goal in life is a direct proportion of understanding one's capability and ability to maximize the opportunity around, which is very, very true. Yeah, exactly. So you have a goal, and what do you need to do? What are the opportunities around you? Maybe you realize that I want to I I want to do this business. What do I need to, and I want to be able to have maybe a factory that people that supplies that sells, let me just say maybe a big poultry. What do I need to do? What are the steps that I need to take to basically achieve that? Right? What do I need to do? How can I reach out to the people, or the opportunities are around, maximize the opportunities around me for me to achieve that goal that I set for me. Like something that Adam mentioned, right? About your life is in your hands. People say that, and I've heard that thing a number of times. Your career is in your hands. Your whatever you decide is in your hands, and that thing is so very true. I mean, even in the, I mean, career ladder, right? You realize that, okay, you're in a particular place and you see that, okay, maybe this place is not working for me. Like maybe I should switch roles. It could be a very difficult decision at times. It could be, you're not sure what you're doing at that point, but at times we all just need to take that bold step to get to where we actually desire to go, right? So I think I'll just pause now. I think Ada, you had your hand up, wanted to say something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that, when you made the announcement that would be on break, I think this is the perfect time for this topic because, we're getting into the new year. You mentioned New Year resolution. I've never really been a fan of it, but I see now why it is important, to write all these things down and then, hype yourself up. That's what I would call it. When you're putting in your belief and your emotion, you hype yourself up because I would say that 2024 was really rough. I don't know about every other person, but 2024 was really rough. And I would not want to see this 2024 again. So I would make deliberate efforts, take the steps that I need to take to ensure that, I create my future. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, so we resume back on the 11th of January. So, I mean, it's an opportunity for all of us to go back. I mean, read all the chapters we've done so far. I think we've done about 3 chapters plus introduction, that's about 4. To catch up on all of that and even go past that. And I mean, like I would say, I think it's 8 o'clock now. I'll also like to say, feel free to reach out to any of the admins if you're interested in reviewing any of these chapters with us, and we'll be happy to have you review for us. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on the 11th of January. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Bye.
Bye.